Alex Jones has turned his attention to Candace Owens. And when you start losing Alex Jones to conspiracies, I don't know if you went too far. But this is very interesting that Alex Jones is now in the game. He's in the game. He's looked at Candace Owens and he said, first of all, he came out over the weekend saying he was sincere, just please pray for Candace because she's going down a rabbit hole that even Alex Jones didn't think it was the best idea to go down that rabbit hole. Maybe it was a little bit too far. He's changed his tune a little bit recently. Now he's saying like he's really diving into what she is postulating and is it very credible at all? In Alex Jones, I think he is the GOAT of conspiracies. He is the GOAT. He's the guy. If you are a guy and you don't like Alex Jones, you might double check that you're a guy. That's all I would say about that. Alex Jones is the man with conspiracies. He is the GOAT. He's the one who started all this. He was the guy that was the quintessential person for cancel culture who the left targeted, put in the crosshairs to remove from this planet that they didn't want. They wanted to silence that man. So him stepping into the game of the Candace Owens fiasco and everything that's going on down there, I'm listening in. I'm leaning in. I don't know about you. He calls her the Q Messiah has returned. He's going to call her the dark Q. And this ties into QAnon, but he's saying that she is the dark Q of all this. And he's not saying it because of her race or being black or anything like that, but just the darker side. And he's going to get into that. Let's take a look at this.
I'll just say it. Candace Owens is the new queen of black-pilled Q. It was white-pilled, insane Q that thought everything was fine and get your popcorn. And now the dark Q has risen. I don't say that because she's black. You know, it's like Fuentes goes, Jones is more hardcore now. He's dark Jones. Oh, Dark Knight, dark Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm all good with the Dark Knight. One of the best movies ever. But yes, I see where you're going, Alex. I see where your head is at. Has nothing to do with race. Anybody who's seeing race and like, let's not be blind to the fact that we understand that people are different colors. Let's not be stupid to the fact, but it doesn't make they're a more valuable person depending on what race they are. Let's not be stupid like that. But let's not be blind to the fact as well either. Him bringing this up has nothing to do with race. I mean, it could be a little hint at that, you know. It could be a little like a play on it. I don't know, but I mean, like everybody can be proud to be whatever they are. I guess you know what I mean. If you can be a proud white person, a proud black person, whatever. I think everybody is just so used to if you're white, you can't be proud about it, you know. And I always feel a little icky about being saying I'm proud of anything because pride's a sin. So I think you're not ashamed of it. Let's just change it to you're not ashamed of it.
No, it's literally Dark Q. I dub her the Queen of Dark Q, the Empress of Dark Q. You got the QAnon, you got the, Blue Anon, you now have Candace on. And I'm just like, wow, Egyptian planes, let me go look into it. Bunch of bull. Okay, Fort Huachuca, mass, assassination operation planning.
Candace Owens, she's throwing out everything. So there's no there with anything. If you have not been like zoned in to everything that she's put forward, you really haven't missed much because she goes from one thing to the next and nothing ever sticks. And so she just bleeds something to dry to dead and then she just moves on. So you haven't really missed much, but it is certainly entertaining and intriguing. And I know she has milked the assassination of Charlie Kirk. She has milked of getting content out of it and driving out of it. I think she changed the game because some people would have thought you cannot go there. You cannot just try to, out of this great man who got murdered in front of everybody. That's something that should be off limits for a while. We should not try to delve into it. She went right at it. She has not let up. She's had her foot on the gas the entire time. She's not stopping. So, and I'm not going to say she's doing something terrible and anyone that would say she's doing something terrible for talking about it, you're talking about her talking about it, which I'm talking about her talking about it. It's the same thing that drives me crazy when people say, don't platform that person. You cannot give that person a platform. And the millions of people that when somebody does give someone a platform, they just start talking about that person and then they're talking about it on their show. So you're platforming them in a sense and then condemning them at the same time. So I think it's unbecoming what she's done. But she's opened the floodgates. There's anything that we cannot touch anymore. It's free reign for everything. If someone in your family dies and you just want to just milk the hell out of it because you want to try to find out and put it in front of everybody and go down every rabbit hole, make it so public, and then make everyone distrust anything because you want to just, let's call it what it is. It's getting content. It's getting interest. It's getting views, which she has certainly done. So I have mixed emotions, as you can tell.
Go look into it. Easily verifiable horse shit. And I'm supposed to then go, well, what she's doing is popular. So I love her ring race, her acolytes, her camp followers, her Praetorian Guard. They all came out and said, Jones can't read a room. I mean, look, he's getting ratioed by people that are saying he's full of crap and covering stuff up. He works for him.
It's not the most popular thing to talk about Candace Owens in a bad light it's not because I for the longest time I liked Candace Owens. I still actually like her, and I like what she has done. She's a massive voice for conservatism, but it's these lines that we've drawn. You have to be in one party or the other. You can't listen to, if someone believes one thing and it doesn't immediately flow in lockstep with what the camp you're in, you have to discount, you have to hate everything about them. I'm not like that, and I know that's made me the oddball because I'm not a person that is lockstep with anyone. I think everybody, let's talk these things out. It seems like the people that are standing by her, for the most part, the strongest part of the people that are anti-Israel, the people that dislike Israel, and you can flower it up, you can fluff it up all you want, and try to say, oh, it's not this and not that, or it's not anti-Jewishness or anti-Semitism, but it's about that you're against that way of life, against those people, which I don't want to go down the whole Israel thing like that because everybody has they're dug in one way or the other. I think we should be able to talk about it. But I just know, like Andrew Tate, he is somebody who stood by Candace Owens' side. And it's because he has a natural disposition where he's not too fond of Israel. He's not too fond, it seems like, of the Jewish people. I don't know. Is maybe him being a Muslim? I don't know with all that. But I don't know where you all stand on that. I know everybody, it's not a fun play. It's not always the funnest thing to do because you immediately feel that the room descend, a cloud descend. When you utter the Israel name, you utter Jewish identity, Israel. Yeah, a lie goes halfway around the world for the truth puts its pants on, but the truth wins in the end. It's I'll be right as always, you'll be wrong as always. So good. Alex Jones, he has stayed out of the Israel thing. He doesn't go there. He's like the Tim Pool of this whole viewpoint. He stays out of it. If it's in the news, if it's attention worthy, he'll give it and he'll talk about it. But he's not obsessed with it. And it's not like they're behind everything. I love Nick Fuentes. I do. I like him a lot. I do like him, but he sees everything. His show, his platform, his viewpoint and where he stands on everything, it's all through the rose, it's through the lens of seeing Israel. Every show is about that identity, and just, he said, why have the Jews kicked out 109 countries and by 2028 America? Why have the Jews been kicked out of 109 countries and by 2028 America? Nicholas Fuentes is a J. I don't know. He's I don't think he's a Fed. No way he's a Fed. Yeah, the Jews, of course they can permeate any society. That's where they're very unique. That's like what makes them so amazing as a people, because it shows that indelible mark that God has given to them, that wherever they go, they get blessed. They make a lot of money. They're very funny. They're in Hollywood. They get attention. Whatever they touch gets blessed. And you can't deny that. What is Nicholas Fuentes is a J. Nicholas, I don't know what that means. Sephardic J. Is a Jew? Nick Fuentes Nick would have to be pulling. That would be the ultimate psyop if they got Nick Fuentes to do the things that he's done, and they're controlling him somehow. I know people have brought up that he's a Fed, and I do not see that at all. He tried to bring his receipts and all that, but really at the end of the day, it's always just you're taking someone's word. That's all it is. But I see Alex Jones, and he's more of the neutral party with that whole issue. So him stepping into talking about Candace Owens, I perk up. I listen. I normally don't talk about Alex Jones that much, though I am a diehard Alex Jones fan. I do agree with so much of what he says. He was the guy that was ahead of everything, and he's brilliant, he's smart, and he's been damned by the entire public opinion. And that he has come out alive, and I don't know if he's ever going to make another cent in his life that is not owed to someone else, because everything he makes, he's been like sued to oblivion.
Good. I'm the trend setter, not the trend follower. I'm pointing the way, and I'm going to now, just because you don't like it, everything she says and does, I'm going to rip it to pieces. And now I'm going back and looking at stuff, because I liked her before, nice lady, said some fun stuff, whatever. I've really been paying attention to the soap opera world. Now I'm looking and I'm like, oh my God, that's pure crap.
Everyone gets sucked into this. That's why it feels like we are in a simulation. I just heard like Elon Musk is saying there's a huge % chance that we're in a simulation. It feels like that because nothing ever actually happens, but everything perfectly works out. That like there's so much drama happen, but if you ever actually dive into it and look into it, there's never any there. And we always give these people more credit than they deserve. That we think that the government couldn't release the Epstein files without correctly blacking out and redacting the names. The U.S. government, unless they can't do the simplest things right, so that they can pull off, because that's where it's going with Candace Owens. The Israel's behind it, the French government's behind it, the U.S. government's behind it, Erica Kirk's behind it, everybody wearing maroon that day is behind it, the Egyptian plane's behind it, and everything is just, it falls to the ground, nothing's there, but it's great content, it's fun to talk about, but if we're trying to be like, oh, let's get to the bottom, be serious about it, I want the truth. Really? I don't know about that. When you get into this realm, like we can all day and long, people say, I want the truth. I want to get to the truth. That's what I care about, which I think you do. But you're just trying to create excitement. You're trying to get people to look at you and get what you're doing. That's all it is. So let's call a spade a spade. So it's never perfect, pure reasons. Everybody has something that's driving them. And I think Candace Owens is certainly, she has drunk her own Kool-Aid to the bottom of it, and she's continued to drink it.
Oh my God, that's pure bull. Oh my God, that's deception. But it's always, just asking questions. No, it's all, they killed him. I mean, that's what it looks like. I didn't really say that though. They're just meeting in Fort Huachuca, and all the surrogates, to kill. Oh, and when the stuff falls apart, I didn't say they were planning anything there. They were just, playing a game of Frisbee golf down.
This is what happens when women start taking the reins of conspiracies. And this seems like it's a guy's game, because we've somehow allowed and let, it's not allowing. She's doing it. She's rolling. If she was the man, she'd be the fucking man. She's good at what she does. But as you can see, there's nothing there. There's nothing holding it intact. It's just disintegrating before everyone's eyes. If you really follow along, if you're really clued in and with what she's saying, you'll arrive at a conclusion that she has forgot about and left, 3 weeks ago. She's not there anymore, and you're running with something that doesn't even make sense in her worldview at all. She's not seeing that same thing. She's forgot about it. She's moved on. She's on to the next. But nothing is ever there.
There. And it's like, you're covering up the foreign involvement, Jones. And I've been, since day one, hitting it on the mark, saying Kash Patel is covering up White House sources. Here's the
Kash Patel. He's been a huge disappointment to me. Whenever he got the nominee and he became sworn in as the director of the FBI, and I should be careful saying this because it seems like they'll come after you. It seems like people saying that. I liked Kash Patel a lot, and overall, as a person, I still like him. He stood for conservatism and right values, and was very bold in it. But I don't know if I would be able to go into government and come out with my soul. I think they suck the life out of you. It's like, I don't know if they grab the people and they tie them up and they put them into confinement for 5 days or something and torture them to just get every life out of them. And then they repackage them up and put them back out there, because it seems like everybody that goes to Washington, they're not the same person once they get there. And everything that they stood for before it, same thing with Dan Bongino. Not that he did anything terrible, But the things that I thought he would have accomplished being there, if Dan Bongino couldn't do it, it makes you lose all hope in our government. What hope do we have in our government? Elon Musk went into it and he came away saying, well, we fucked. I'm out. We are screwed, everyone. Like, money wise, we cannot reverse course. And the only thing he came away saying was the AI implementing that can somehow, and that might be it. That is what's going to change the course of our financial situation, because it's going to bring so much plentifulness and resources and all that. I was blackpilled with our financial situation with Elon Musk. If he said he got in there and Doge, it took a little pick and just chipped off something on an iceberg, which is like it did nothing really. It brought things to light, but it just showed us our dire situation. And Dan Bongino just bouncing out of the government right there, and without nothing really to show for it, and that our legal system is that terrible. It's that corrupt. I think we give them a lot more credit than they deserve, because they can't pull off things that we just think that they're doing. And I've been guilty of this myself. I build them up and I think that they're doing so many things amazing. I think that they're doing so many things that are just incredible, that they're able to pull off these massive jobs, these massive conspiracies that everybody's involved. And I just give them a lot more credit than they deserve, which there's so much red tape that nobody can really, it's a swamp. That's what it is. We know that's what it actually is.
Meeting, here's what was said, here's what was done, literally sticking my head in a lion's mouth for myself and you and everybody else, nailing it like Luke Skywalker blowing up the Death Star, baby. Be like I was playing darts and I threw 6 darts right in the bullseye. Tiger Woods, 18 holes, hole in one. People are like, we don't care about record of being right. We don't care about proof. We care about you're bad covering up for Israel. We're good, and so we say this congressman was at the assassination meeting, even though he's on C-SPAN at 11 a.m. and voting and speaking, which is 8 a.m. at the assassination command base. People say, why are you?
Yeah, it's absolutely wild. That and Alex Jones, he's a person that can actually get in there and get his hands dirty, get into the nitty-gritty and find out what's going on. There's no conspiracy that he has not thought of, and he's able to analyze these things. So if he's going to start picking apart Candace's little tales and things that she's saying, it's not going to change. It's not going to change what Candace is doing. And I think what he wants really is he wants to sit down with Candace. He wants to talk this out, flesh it out. And what just drove me up the wall was the whole meeting that Candace had with Turning Point USA with Erica Kirk. It was closed doors, 4.5 hours, and they talked through everything. What actually did you talk about? Did you get the call, Candace? Are you in on something that you're? I don't think there is no in. I think Turning Point USA had nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. But that's what I'm talking about. It just makes it seem like that this simulation is just feeding us something. That there's always some drama, but there's never any there. What happened? That makes it the most fake thing in the world, that there was such buildup that she had the opportunity. They could have done it live in front of everyone. Then she backed out. Then she ends up going in for I guess Erica and them. They flew up to Tennessee, and that's where they had it at a hotel in secret closed doors meetings. But nobody knows it. We're none the wiser. We have nothing. We don't actually know what happens. We only hearsay of what you said there. And when people are in person, they're going to be a lot different than when they're in person in front of the camera, when the public view is watching them. Because then they're going to pull some niceties and some things that just, let's be chummy. Because at the end of the day, these people are chummy. They're chummy. They're friends. They're cool with being friends, because really the things that we get fixated on it's just for views. It's just for people to see things. It's just for drama. But really, there's a core mentality of what we want, together. We want the best for our nation. We want good things to happen for our people. We want conservative values to be upheld. And I think what keeps us together is just the social values that we have. We all, for the most part, most of us claim the name of Christ. We're standing under that banner. And this little infighting that we have, it's a lot of more just for public consumption. It's what they had, and them doing it in closed doors. We don't. They probably just had some fun, had some good times. Didn't really talk anything out. They didn't really get any further along. They just say like, "Hey, have been seeing the videos I've been putting up? That was good, wasn't it? Man, you went a little bit too far there." Really? Okay. Well, let's just have some coffee. Let's just drink it up, and have a good time. That's all it is, and that is the black pill right there, that they decided to do it without us seeing what's going on. They need to meet up. They need to do it in front of people. And not do it just for a show, but really what's going on. I'm tired of not knowing what's going on. And I'm tired of feeling out of the loop. And I know you are as well. And I know the people there as well, the people that are doing the same thing that I'm doing, they do as well. They don't really know what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on. We're just being fed bullshit every day and we're just used to it. All right. I don't know where you stand. As you can see, I'm a little passionate about it, but we'll leave it at that. Smash that like button. Follow me on X and Instagram at Brandon Fogal. If you're listening on Apple Podcast, go and rate my channel. The show is Brandon Fogal Evolution. I don't want to tell you to lie and say just give me a good start. Your honest heart, what you think. I'm doing my best I can. Do my best. I'm trying to improve every day, and I care about what you all think. So drop a comment. Let me know. And I did see somebody's comment on Apple Podcasts. I thought that was really kind, really nice of what they did, what they said. So thank you all for anyone that does just lean into this and give me any shares or anything like that you have. All right. Have a great day. I'll see y'all later.